Congratulations on reaching the capstone course for environmental management. My name is Sabrina Fu and I will be your professor for this course. Many of you have had me in previous classes and know how my classrooms function. If you do not, I hope that this short video will help orient you on how my classroom functions, as well as provide some specifics on this unique capstone course. Okay. First of all, I do read everything in the classroom, but cannot get to everything right away. Hence, if you have a question that you want answered as soon as possible, please post in the questions for Sabrina conference. Okay, I do respond to all comments eventually that I think require responding to. Some comments might be just left alone. If you don't hear a comment back from me, just imagine a nod from me. I will respond to all the comments in the conferences, study group, and workbook that I think need a response from a professor. Often in the conferences, I will comment on a discussion subtopic with specific names of individuals that are relevant to the point I'm trying to make. I do try to acknowledge all of you at some point. If I don't, I apologize ahead of time. If you feel neglected, please email me about that. I don't want anybody to feel neglected. Okay, I also need you to know that my grades are based on the quality of the answer that you give to the questions I ask in the quizzes and exam, and my grades are based upon the grading rubrics given for the projects. Hence, please proofread your answers to the quizzes and exams and look over the grading rubrics for the projects. I will be using the grading rubrics to be as fair as humanly possible. And I do really want to give good grades to everyone, but they need to be justified academically. It's as though somebody would come and quiz me like, can you justify giving this grade, okay? And that applies to good grades as well as bad grades. Okay, I also want you to know that I try to use different modes of learning for all of my classes, which include podcasts, PowerPoints, and videos. For this capstone course, I have provided review videos for those of you who might need review. Okay, this capstone course is actually modeled on a seminar type course. We do have some quizzes and a open book midterm exam, but we have no final exam. What we're going to use instead are projects for authentic assessment. There's a group project and there's a final project, and both of those have grading rubrics, as I mentioned before. Since this is a seminar type class, you will be required to participate in the conferences. You're required to participate as participants that you normally, as students that you normally do, and you will also be required to lead a conference. And the requirements for both of those are in the syllabus. But basically what I want you to think about is think of the best conversations you've ever had. Conversations where people listen to each other, learn from each other, and bring greater depth to the discussions as you go along throughout the week. Hence, I don't expect to read any textbook cut and paste one. Those will get a 0. I also don't expect to read very trivia things. I expect you to answer the question with quite a bit of depth, but hopefully not more than a paragraph. And I want you to add to what others have already said. So there's no need to repeat what others have said. Just read the conversation and join in. You guys have a wealth of experience. Use your experience, what you've seen of the world, and provide, fresh insight into the concepts we're discussing. Okay, and finally, I want to note that since this is a capstone course, many of you will likely be thinking about asking for your professor for recommendations for your future endeavors. My requirement for giving references is that I know you well as a person, both your academics and your character. And I don't always say yes to all requests, because I do want to give the most thoughtful, best recommendations I possibly can. And so far, out of the 10 or so students I've given to, they've all gotten their first or second choices in jobs or graduate school applications. Okay, so let's get off to a great start in this semester by making sure that you have the 2 books required for this course. These 2 books are Environmental Management for Sustainable Development by C.J. Borrow, I think it's Chris Borrow, and also have Handbook of Environmental Management Technology by Gwendolyn Burke, Ben Singh, and Louis Theodore. They're both decently written, and they're just good starting points for the topics that we'll be discussing each week. I don't agree with everything they've written because there's a whole wealth of things written about environmental management, and it's not something that could be it's not a clean cut field. It's not something that you can absolutely agree on, because environmental management really encompasses everything in life, including human behavior, human perception. So I find environmental management to be fascinating, and I'm sure you do too, and that's why you've chosen this as your field. Hope everybody have a great semester, and hope to see as many of you as possible at the stateside commencement this May 2010. Okay, have a great year, everyone.